What's going on, guys? Jacob Borth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas. Today with the special guest,
Amber Coleman.
So Amber's here because we're talking real estate, as a lot of you have probably figured out by now. But Amber is the expert on the mortgage side of things. So that's what she's here to talk about today as far as mortgages. And today this video is specifically dedicated towards the military. So people who are either active duty or retired. We're talking about an option for you to be buying a home here in Las Vegas, because we do have a sizable military population here in the Vegas area. We do have Nellis Air Force Base. We also have Creech Air Force Base here in the area. We have quite a few active duty military of, more branches than just the Air Force, but the Air Force is the biggest one here. And we do have our fair share of retired military who love to come here for things like the no state income tax. They love to come here for things like the weather and the golfing and the outdoor activities. We have the mountains here of Red Rock right behind us today as we're filming in Summerlin. So Vegas is an attractive place for the military to come. But let's talk about, a myth or two about, buying a home and the process for someone, whether active duty or retired.
Okay. And I'm actually one of those people that came here with the military. I was actually born and raised in Las Vegas. I was born on Nellis Air Force Base, so
okay, cool.
I have a special place in my heart for the military. So just to talk about like the things they're myths against VA loans. VA loans are by far the best loans that are out there. That's one thing that's done really good for our military, is they're given very, very good loans. Just to give you the basics on it at first, if you go up to a certain loan limit per county, so in Clark County it's $484,350, you don't have to put any money down. Their rate is about 0.5% lower than the conventional going rate, and that's something that's missed a lot of the times. Is sometimes people look at it the same. It's not. You get a way better rate. You don't have to have as high FICO scores to do it. And one of the things that some people don't look at is when you're buying a larger sized house. So say you're to the point where you're going to buy a $600,000 house. Well, VA's loan limit is $484,350. So sometimes people think that, well, I can only go up to $484,350 on VA. No, that's not true. You could go up to that amount without putting any down payment down. If you go up to $600,000, then you have to put a down payment down, and doing the calculations on the down payment is about $29,000 down on a $600,000 price. Just to compare that to like a conventional loan, you're looking at a minimum of 10% down and a higher interest rate. So that's a difference between $29,000 and $60,000 in a down payment, plus your payment's going to be way better on a VA, even with the difference in down payment.
Right, because that difference, you're only putting a down payment on that difference between the $484,000 and the $600,000. So you're only putting a down payment on that $116,000 difference.
Yeah, so it's 25% of the difference if you want to calculate your own down payment. If you take $484,000, and we're just using $600,000 as a example, you're going to take that $484,000 minus it by $600,000, and that difference you're going to times by 25%. So you're going to come up with $29,000 and change that you'd have to put as your down payment.
Exactly, versus at least $60,000 and a higher interest rate.
And a conventional and a higher interest rate and more drama, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
VA has, the other thing about VA is the guidelines are a lot less strict. So if you've ever had something happen in your past, like a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, or even credit challenges, you could get past those with VA a lot easier than you can on a conventional loan or even an FHA loan.
And then for some people too in the military, whether they're active or they're retired, they may want to use their VA to buy a home that they're going to live in for a while. Then at some point they want to move on from that home and maybe rent that out and get another house that they want to live in, and keep doing that. They can keep that VA loan on that original home.
Yeah, you can keep it, and I would suggest to, because that's going to be a really good way to capture on, because your payment's going to be so low on it compared to what you would have as an investment property.
All right, so you'll be able to increase your cash flow that you're going to be getting every single month from it.
Yeah.
So you could use it just as a primary residence you live in, for the rest of your life, or you could use it just as a way really to live there for a while and leverage that as an investment property to bring you cash flow. Then you can go and, buy another property, live somewhere else, whatever the case you want to do.
Yeah, and some people will move from place to place. I've had veterans that will move from one city to the next city to the next city, and each place they go, they keep a loan and then use it as an investment property. you know, after they go. You can only go up to a certain amount of money if you're going to do that. So you can only take the VA limit, and then you have to keep your houses within that if you're going to do that kind of thing. But we can talk about that. So if you have questions about that, feel free to call me anytime, and I'm happy to go through all the details with you on it.
And then another benefit too that veterans get here in the state of Nevada is on the property tax. So let's talk just briefly.
Yes,
about it.
a lot of
Mention that
veterans
point.
don't. Well, it's not just the veterans, it's disabled veterans. So a lot of veterans don't realize the benefit that you have in Clark County. So after you close on a house, what you'd want to do is you take your DD-214 and you take your proof of disability that you have with the military to show what percentage disabled you are, and they will reduce your property taxes, and it's a significant amount. So it's definitely worth doing.
Because when you go to the assessor, based on how disabled you are, a percent, the assessor will tell you what your reduction is going to be in property tax.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that reduction is going to then reduce your payment on the house, because your taxes and your insurance are always going to be included in your payment. So your payment's going to be a lot less than what you would be if you weren't, you know, a disabled veteran.
All right, so if you are a disabled veteran, so you get the reduction on your property taxes, you don't have to put anything down on your home as long as it's under $484,000, and you get the cheaper interest rate. So it's kind of like
the guidelines, even the guidelines, if you have some credit challenges, it's easier to get through with VA than it is with other loans that are out there. So, and VA, if there's things that have happened that are military related that caused, you know, certain things to happen in your life, they're a lot more lenient with those. So I've been able to fight for a lot of veterans to get them in houses when they've been told no many times, because, you know, if there's things that happen in the military, then it gives us a reason to fight.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, so in your 17 years of doing mortgages, you've helped out quite a few.
Oh, yes. I couldn't even count as the many. Like I said, I have a special place in my heart for the veterans. So call me if you need anything.
So if you're active duty or if you're retired military, you're looking to move here to Las Vegas, you want to retire here, whatever the case is, you need a mortgage, you need help with that process, this is your go-to
I'm your girl.
She can definitely help you out. So contact information for Amber's down below, you guys. I appreciate all of you watching this video. I appreciate Amber coming along.
No, thank you for having me.
And sharing the info with us. So guys, thanks again for watching. That's going to be it for this video. I am Jacob. This is Amber. This is My Life in Vegas.